Welcome everyone to Inside the Fight. This is your fight preview for UFC 251 coming to you this Saturday, July 11th, live on ESPN pay-per-view. It is a stacked card and it is coming from Abu Dhabi, UFC Fight Island. We have pictures already how they have the octagon set up. It is a cool scene to have an octagon on a beach. Should be a fun night of fights. I'm going to kick things off with Paige VanZant taking on Amanda Reba. Reba 9-1, 4-1 in her last 5. Paige VanZant 8-4. She's 2-3 in her last 5 fights. With her last fight being a victory, which came over a year ago. She suffered a fractured arm and unfortunately did not heal the way it's supposed to, requiring her to have surgery, which basically made her have a long layoff. Amanda right now though has a 4-fight win streak, with victories coming this past March. So right before everything shut down, she fought in Brazil with no fans. So I think she has the advantages in that situation where she knows what to expect. No one knows really what to expect because you're in the beach. Who knows what's gonna happen? I think this is gonna be a great fight. But I see Amanda Reba taking this one. I love Paige VanZant. She's a fun fighter, fun personality. She has a wonderful smile that you can't help but smile. But I have a funny feeling that arm might be tested, and it scares me. It's the same way with Anderson Silva when he throws leg kicks. I get afraid of it, and I think the same thing might happen here. So hopefully that arm is fully healed and she could give us a great fight. But my money right now is on Amanda Reba. Next up, we got Jéssica Andrade taking on Rose Namajunas. I hope I got that right. This is the second time they're fighting. And the last fight was for the title. Jéssica defeated Rose and took her title. Jéssica's 4-1 in her last 5. With her last fight being the title fight that she lost her title to the Chinese fighter Zhang Weili. So this is interesting to see how she bounces back from that loss. Rose is 3-2 in her last 5 fights, with her last loss being losing the title to Jéssica. So Rose is looking for retribution. She wants to take back that win and then get herself back into the title contention. Jéssica's looking back to get back at the title picture again. So this fight basically could tell us who's next, basically. Who's winning this fight? This is going to be a great fight. For some reason, I think Rose is going to take this fight. I think there was a lot happening with that last fight, and she got knocked out or slammed. But I think you're gonna see a different Rose. Petr Yan takes on José Aldo for the Bantamweight title. As we all know, Henry Cejudo retired as the champ, so it's time to crown a new champ. He was originally supposed to take on José Aldo, but that fight could not happen because of situations that are no one's could have predicted what happened. But basically, that fight never happened. So José Aldo gets a title fight. Petr Yan, 14-1 with a 9-fight win streak. José Aldo is 2-3 with technically riding a 2-fight losing streak. But I do think he was robbed in his last fight, which he made his debut in Bantamweight. It was a split decision, but I'm only one person, so I'm going to say he won that fight. But if you felt like he lost that fight, I do feel, write in the comments, let me know why you think that, because I don't see it. But this should be a good fight. Yang, 9-fight win streak. That is impressive. Only 1 loss in his career. José Aldo is a man who just, that loss to Conor McGregor, I think, broke him. and it broke that mystique that he had, because he brought fear into fighters, and you don't feel that same fighter is there anymore. So Petr Yan, his money, my money's on him. Next up, the co-main event, Alexander Volkanovski, I hope I got that right, defends against Max Holloway in a direct rematch. This is going to be a great fight. Alexander, 21-1. I believe he has a 11-fight win streak. He took the featherweight title away from Max Holloway. Max Holloway, he's 3-2 in his last 5 fights, with both his losses being title fight losses, where he had was trying to win the lightweight championship, did not win it, or the interim title. Then won a fight, then lost the featherweight title to Alexander. This is a rematch. Alexander is the real deal. He is definitely the real deal. While none of his wins have been like spectacular, no, he did earn a fight of the night 3 fights ago. But he does have a lot of decisions on his record. I could easily see this going all the way. Max Holloway is a dude that just fights, and does not stop. But this is going to be a great fight for both of them, and my money's on Alexander. I think he's going to successfully defend his title. So Max Holloway, a great fighter, but I think he might lose this one. They're both standing at 21 wins. One has 1, one has 5, but someone will have 22 wins tomorrow night. And in your main event, Usman defends his welterweight championship against Jorge Masvidal. Originally, he was supposed to defend against Gilbert Burns. Unfortunately, he tested positive. Him and his entire team tested positive, so he had to back out. Hopefully, he is better and gets through that. I had it before. I know what it's like. It's a horrible feeling to go through. So hopefully, best wishes on speedy recovery for Gilbert Burns. Though I think he has his next fight set up, as he's been trash talking Nate Diaz, or Nate Diaz has been trying to trash talk him, which talking about fighting while sick. Yeah, no, this is dumb. Just absolutely dumbness. Anyway, let's get to this fight. Jorge Masvidal jumps in with a week notice to this fight. And one of the things that a lot of people are talking about, because in his last fight, he defeated Nate Diaz for the BMF title, which is a baddest motherfucker title, which is a nonsense title belt, doesn't mean anything. Anyway, a lot of people have been saying Jorge has changed who he is, his fight style, his mindset, and maybe he has. But here's the problem. The problem is, in his last 5 fights, he's 3-2, I believe it was. 3-2. With 2 losses against opponents that are top contenders, basically. And let's be honest, he destroyed Ben Askren. Now, some people might say that was a lucky knee. That it was a running knee and just to obliterate Ben completely. The Nate Diaz fight, that was a spectacular win. No, he bloodied him up, doctor stoppage. Nate Diaz is a warrior. I'm sure he would have fought even with all that blood. But of course, the cut stopped that match. So who truly knows? Now, what I do know, Usman 16-1, and he is on a 15-fight win streak. He destroyed basically everyone. And I should be a little more. He has a lot of decisions on his records, which means that he goes all the way. But the unanimous decision, not split decisions, unanimous. So he won those. He won those fights, and these are 5-round fights that he's been winning. So this is going to be a huge, humongous test for Jorge Masvidal. I do not see him winning this fight, and I think for the UFC's interest, I think you do not want Jorge winning this fight, especially so because he is someone that was making a lot of excuses not to fight. I don't want that type of person as my champ. The champ has to be someone that will fight whenever, wherever, basically. Whenever, wherever. So, and Usman was that type of guy, because even though Gilbert Burns was his teammate, he accepted the fight. He said, yeah, sure, we'll fight. Why not? And I think this is going to be a good fight. It is going to be a good fight. I do think that much. But, like I said, this is a huge level in terms of competition for Jorge Masvidal, who, if he really is a changed fighter, he'll win. If he loses, well, he'll go right back to where he was, being a fighter that's fun to watch. But other than that, that's all I can say on that. Well, guys, let me know what you guys think of UFC 251. What are your fight predictions? What fights are you looking forward to? Be sure to leave a comment in this video letting me know. I do reply whenever I do have a chance to see some comments that want to reply. But until then, guys, I will see you back here for post-fight UFC 251, as well as fight previews for UFC Fight Island fights all throughout next week. Until then, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and take care.